So today I am going to talk to you about Inside the Manosphere. And this is a Netflix documentary by Louis Theroux. And I cannot tell you, it's just so disturbing, but it's necessary that I talk to you about it. And I think that everyone needs to see it. I am all about empowering women, but I also love men. And I'm not a man hater by any means. I'm always about, finding your person to do life with and that teammates. And it's just this world that I live in with my person, that you're a team and we're equals and we add value to each other's life. You guys, this Inside the Manosphere is so gross and disturbing to me that there are so many men that exist, that these leaders, these guys that are influencers, they go into it in the documentary about how they are so against women. It's disgusting how they speak to them. So I want to talk to you about a few of the things that came up in the documentary, because knowledge is power. You need to know what is happening. And we're talking about millions and millions of men who support these people. And because of that, as you're dating, as you're putting yourself out there, I want to make sure that you know what questions to ask, and if they're lying to you, or are they like misogynist, disgusting pigs that think that women should not have any rights. And so let's talk about this documentary. There's a few people that come up and relationships, so I want to get into it because, first of all, the first guy that comes up, Harrison Sullivan. Okay, so he goes by HS Tiki Taki, and he's just like a douche. Immediately as soon as I see him, he just comes off like a douche, right? But as the Louis Theroux who did the documentary, he goes into it, and I actually think it's sad. Like when you see about his upbringing, his life, and maybe perhaps because of the wounds that he had growing up and how he was disappointed and things that happened to him, this may have affected why he is acting the way he does and the beliefs that he has. He goes online and talks about how women are disgusting. It's interesting. He promotes pornography, right? And OnlyFans, but then he'll talk about how, if my daughter ever does OnlyFans, I'll disown her. Or he's also homophobic. If my son is ever gay, I disown him. He wants to marry a virgin. That's the ideal situation. It's all these double standards as he is online recording him getting a blowjob by some girl. He befriends all these women and promotes them and helps them get, more followers. He does a lot of things for clickbait and all this shit, right? And it's interesting because his mother shows up on the documentary and she is not for that at all. And he is actually, the way he talks to his mom, it sounds like he has a lot of respect for his mom. But then when he talks about women, it's disgusting. It's so gross. And as I'm watching him be so vile about humans, like just people, he did a setup for a guy making, one of his, whatever the fuck, the people, he traps basically a guy that's gay, and they beat the shit out of him, and they're all laughing and beating him, and they're they're recording everything. I just feel that, where is God in all this? I just feel sometimes these people that are on, these platforms, and they have all these followers, right? And they're talking about the evil in the world, and how these gay people and all of this, when they're the ones doing these evil acts, what the fuck are you doing here? And I feel like people need to wake up. And what's even more bizarre is that Harrison Sullivan, he talks about and all these guys, all these men, in this manosphere, and they talk about the red pill community, from the Matrix, take the red pill, wake up, and how don't be blind. You need to make money. Don't work for people. Work for yourself. Make your own money. And so as he's talking about take the red pill, wake the fuck up kind of thing, it is shocking to me how many men follow HS. And we're talking about not just men, like children, kids, teenagers are on the street, like loving HS, like, oh my God, and what he's all about and how his content goes viral. And for all the most awful reasons, for violence, for hate, like actual hate. I worry about the state of the world. Like, this is what makes sense now. Like, when you see things like this, I'm always wondering, why is Trump, how did Trump even get to be president? I don't talk about politics much on my platform ever. I have clients of mine, some have voted for Trump, some haven't. Like, I respect, for the most part, whatever people's opinions are, right? But when you see this documentary, right, Inside the Manosphere, and how they are all Trump supporters, and they are just all about hate, and they're all about, putting down gays, putting down trans. I don't know. I just feel there is a clear connection of why there's millions and millions of people voting for Trump and wanting Trump in power, and there is so much hate and bigotry and misogyny. We are going backwards. That's what it feels like. We are going backwards. I think that, when you think about women, how far we've come, and, now I'm living in Spain, and I look at what's going on in the States and how women have lost their rights to even have an abortion, things like that. Like, that is mind-blowing to me. But then when you see this film, I'm like, oh my God, no fucking wonder. Like, no wonder we are going backwards. No wonder, because the people who are running the show are these ignorant people. And not only that, but they have so many people that are so dumb and ignorant as well, and they're just following them like sheep and voting for whatever supports their stupid, ignorant cause. I think that this needs to be talked about. This needs, I saw it. I had a hard time seeing it, but I was like, I need to watch it, and I need to make sure that, especially I have 2 daughters. I'm like, I want them to be aware of the type of people that exist and what their beliefs are, and to stay away from them and to be smart about it. And so, like, let's go on to the other, this other guy, Myron Gaines, that they talked about. Like, he straight up was talking about how women shouldn't vote and one-sided monogamy. Okay, you guys, like, what the hell is one-sided monogamy? And it's so ridiculous, because he's like, oh yeah, like, I can do whatever I want. I can sleep with whoever I want. And his girlfriend at the time, Angie, like, can't. And Angie shows up on the documentary, and Louis talks to her. And it's so funny how, it's just like, wake the fuck up. That's why I'm listening to Angie, and I'm like, this is so sad. Like, I feel that she doesn't know her own worth, and I would love her in my program. Like, as a freaking love and dating coach, the first thing I do with women is help them know their worth, reclaim their worth. And for her to be dating this guy that makes her think, oh, it's okay for me to go out and have sex with other women and make you feel like you're not enough, and you're going to be the good wife staying at home, or the good girlfriend to stay at home. Like, what are you doing, Angie? Right? And thank God at the end of the documentary, it says they broke up. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God. Right? But, the way Myron speaks, he has a podcast, and he brings on these women and shames them, makes them feel worthless. If they're overweight, he bashes them and embarrasses them. He is a vile human. Vile. And I am shocked that there are people that follow him and love him, all these men that support him. And I'm actually, and it's sad that women go on his podcast willingly. And I'm just like, wait, how desperate do you have to be? Or not really. What it is that how low do you have to feel about yourself to tolerate someone treating you so badly? And that's heartbreaking. You know, and so as you're watching this show, like it only gets worse. Like it only gets worse. And I think that it is important for you to watch. If you have not seen this documentary, you have to see it. I want you to open your eyes to it. And if you are watching this and you're like one of these people that are in the manosphere and freaking love these guys, do not follow me. Like, unsubscribe, get the fuck out of my world, because I don't want you here. I really want people to come in with a growth mindset, respecting men, respecting women, and treating people like with dignity and with love and respect, and gays and trans and all the things. And I'm very much about God and loving people and treating people like you would treat yourself, or like how you would want to be treated. And this is the opposite of all of that. Okay. But I want you guys to hear this, because when you get in a conversation as you're dating and you're talking to men or talking to whoever, I want you to ask questions like, oh, hey, have you heard about the Louis Theroux documentary? Like, bring it up on the date. Ask what their thoughts are on it. Oh, you haven't seen it? You bring it up and be curious, right? Don't lead them like, oh, you think it's crazy, right? No. Like, I want you to be curious. Oh, have you seen that documentary about Louis Theroux's Inside the Manosphere? Just curious, like, what, oh, you have? Like, what are your thoughts? So curious. Like that, right? Pause. See what they say about it. If they're like, oh yeah, amazing, love what HS is all about, bye. Like, literally stand up and leave. Honestly, deal breaker, done. We got to talk about what else they talk about. It's so crazy. This guy Justin Tate, and you know Andrew Tate, that family. So Justin is with his quote unquote wife, because they're not married under the state, Kristen. Also, the one-sided monogamy. Okay, I'm like mind blown. Like, what are we doing here? And they talk to Kristen, and what she says of like, oh, we just stay in our lanes. I change diapers, take care of the children. He doesn't do any of that stuff. You know, I stay in the kitchen. He goes to work and provides. We stay in each other's lanes. And yes, she says, this is what she says. I'm like, still, I literally just saw it. I'm like, ew, I can't. She says, oh, women actually want their man to be desired by other women. So yeah, like him going out and sleeping with other women, like I don't need to know about it, but it's not anything gory or anything like awful. Like, I like that he's wanted by other women. I'm just like listening to this, and it's sad. It's sad to me, because it's sad for her to hear for her to tolerate that. I'm like wondering, what have you been through? And she mentions in her past relationship, she was lied to. So she's happy that she's not being lied to this time around, that this guy is honest about how he's cheating on, you know, sleeping with other women, right? And these are not the only two doors available to you, Kristen. Like, okay, a guy that cheats on you and lies to you and sleeping with other women behind your back, or the guy that's openly, you know, sleeping with other women and tells you about it. These are not our only options. There is another door that exists, that is a man that is obsessed with you in the most beautiful way, loves you, has only eyes for you, has no desire to sleep with other women, because you are enough and more than enough and like everything for him. And he is a teammate, and he is helping you with the diapers, and he's in the kitchen, and he's providing, and he's going to work, and he's doing all the things. Like, there is that door. Women, there is that freaking door. So do not think as you're watching this bullshit, oh, like these are only options. I have actually never been cheated on. I've actually never, like, I've had other problems. I've had, you know, abusive relationships. I've had, you know, toxic relationships. I've dated a ton of losers, right? But a guy cheating on me, like actually lying, whatever, in my world, it didn't exist. So it's interesting. Like, did I see other friends of mine getting cheated? Yeah. But for me, in my path, like that was a clear deal breaker for me from forever. So it's interesting what women are willing to tolerate, right? And so I feel that in my experience, in my lens, in my life, how I've seen it, it's never been in question like, oh yeah, I'm going to just be okay with this. Never, never. And so as I see this beautiful, wonderful woman who used to be an x-ray technician and loved her job and has now left her job completely and is now taking care of her, this guy's child, and is pregnant with another one while he goes and sleeps with whoever he wants and also brings women into the bedroom so they can have threesomes, and she's doing whatever this guy wants. I am like, wake up. And this part was freaking crazy because Louis like, you're not even married under the state, so that's a risk, because what's his face, Justin, is like, oh yeah, if things don't work out with us, I don't regret anything. It's amazing memories, right? But Louis Theroux is saying to this girl, Kristen, but this is a risk for you because you'll lose everything. Like, you won't have any money. Like, he doesn't owe you anything. You're not even married, right? And she's like, oh, it's a risk, but I don't feel like I'm really at risk. Like, she feels safe with this guy. And I think about what happened to you. Like, before even these relationships that you've tolerated being lied to, like, what happened? Where did you lose your sense of worth and what you deserve in this life? That's heartbreaking. That is so sad to me. And especially when you think about her as a mother, like, you have to, I was raised, my mom told me, like, do not depend on a man, ever. And my mom has been happily married to my dad for 50 years. But before they got together, she was married before. And she was left, she left him actually because he was not a good guy. It was not a good relationship, right? And after a year, she had a 1-year-old son, having to raise him on her own. So thank God my mom instilled in me, you never know what's going to happen. So you have to support yourself financially. And I want Kristen to know that. I'm like, do not hold your breath on this guy, Justin, taking care of you forever. There's no way. If he's able to go around and sleep with other women and bring other women into the bedroom with you, and the way that he speaks about women, and he has that no respect in so many ways, it's just disgusting and vile. Like, why are we, if he's able to treat people and the way he talks about other women, and the way he talks, right? How you do one thing, that's how you do all things. It's a matter of time, Kristen. So it's important. And as you're listening to this, I want you to make sure that you're prepared also. I meet women sometimes and they're like, I just want a man to provide for me and take care of me financially. And I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. Like, don't. I want you to be financially independent and secure on your own and not need a man to provide shit. And instead, you're earning and he's earning. I definitely don't want you to date a freaking loser, but you guys are a team and you guys are coming in together, right? But this whole idea of, oh my gosh, we're in our own lanes and we're not doing things, it is such bullshit. So as I'm watching this documentary, my mind is blown that this is actually filmed this year and not in the year fucking whatever, like so long ago. Like, this is like early 1900s shit. And I'm like, how is this happening right now? How are we letting this happen? And then there was just like there's this dumb shit, like this last guy, Sneeko. I'm just like, how he's a Filipino guy and it's interesting. He started filming when he was young on YouTube, and it seemed so like innocent and sweet, and how it turned so vile and anti-Semitic, and he believes in Satanist, and he thinks that Sam Smith is like, oh my God, look how he now is trans and how he's gotten fat, and he's like, all the things coming out of his mouth, you guys, even me repeating this, I'm like, it's just so out. Like, this can't be real, right? Like, I'm like, do people like this actually exist? And is this what they actually believe? And it's true. And that's frightening. That is frightening. That is not okay. We should not be okay with this and be like, okay, let's close our eyes, put the blinders on. We don't want to know about it. No, we need to know about it. And I was talking to my twin sister. I wanted to do this podcast with her. And she was like, oh my God, like, I don't want people to hate me or something. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, we need to talk about it. And so I am freaking fearless about this. I want you to know what is happening, what is out there. And as you are putting yourself out there to connect, make sure you're asking questions to connect with people that are aligned with you, that help you shine brighter in the world and not dim your beautiful light. Like, these men are dimming women's light. They are absolutely destroying this world with their bullshit thoughts and beliefs. And they're convincing the young people in this world that they are right. And so, yeah, we need to speak up. I'm not going to not speak about this. We have to know what is going on. We have to know about the ignorance in this world, and we need to speak against it, because we're just as bad if we keep our mouths shut and let people like this run the world. Cannot happen. We are not going to fucking let that happen. I want to hear your thoughts about it. So if you're listening to this on YouTube, drop a comment. Let me know. You can drop a comment too in Spotify if you're listening there. And yeah, I'm heated. I'm upset, but I believe good will always triumph over evil. And as you are putting yourself out there, or just even listening to this, I believe that God is amazing and good and has the right person for you. But I want to make sure that you're asking the right questions, and I want you to be aware of what's out there, so you do not ever, settle for a man that treats you like one of these guys on this fucking show. You deserve more than that. Remember, it has to be crazy love or nothing. Thank you for listening. Until next time.